Okay, so hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great in your life. So we are back with another video, and that is chapter number 4, grade 8, quadrilateral. So we are done with the 2 chapters, right? Everyone has shown that chapter? I hope you are. So now let's come to chapter number 4, that is quadrilateral, and I'll try to finish it in one shot. So stay with me till the end. After the class, you will enjoy, definitely. Trust me. So what we gonna cover today? So have you ever seen that some shapes around us are common? Like all of you have heard the name of rectangle, square, kite, rhombus, right? So they come from a special type of family in mathematics that is called quadrilaterals, and today we are going to explore that. This is clear to you that what is the motivation behind today's class? Okay. So before starting the class, let me give you a short intro about me. My name is Dhananjay. I've done my masters in mathematics from NIT Durgapur, and I have 2+ years of teaching experience, taught over thousands of students, mainly for the JEE and foundation. So if you want more such interactive sessions, please visit to our SISYA class courses, where we have booster course, math champ course, SISYA topper programs. So simply what you have to do, see how simple these steps are. You have to visit to the sisyaclass.com/LTC, then enter your grades, that in which grade you are. Just tap on it simply, a pop-up will appear, and you have to fill the phone number and your state name. Simple, and you can try the 3 classes at just ₹19 only. Okay. So before starting any topics, always remember that what I should cover in this chapter. What is the roadmap that we are going to cover? So the first topic that we will cover is what is quadrilateral. The chapter name is quadrilateral. Obviously, you should know what is quadrilateral. So next is the congruence of triangles and its criteria, that when we say that the triangles are congruent. So if you don't know the index, don't worry. At the end of the session, please come back to the index once again. Then everything you will know. Trust me. Third one is CPCT. Now this is a criteria that when we say that 2 triangles are congruent. Okay. Corresponding part of congruent triangles, that is basically CPCT. Fourth one is the carpenter's problem. Okay, this is a word problem that we are going to answer. Basically, this is the starting point of your grade 8 NCERT, right? Grade 8 NCERT chapter number 4, that is quadrilateral. Next is the rectangles and its properties, squares, parallelogram, rhombus, kite, and trapezium. Basically, all these what I have told, square, parallelogram, rhombus, kite, everything comes under the category of quadrilateral, and that we will explore today. So this is clear to you what we're going to do today? Okay, so let's start with a quadrilateral. So for quadrilateral, we should have 4 sides first of all. Now the sides should be straight. Now everyone know when we have 3 sides and we want to make a closed figure, it is basically a rectangle. When we have 5 sides and we want to make a closed figure, that is basically a polygon if I want to make. So what is the name of that shape? That is pentagon. But what about 4 sides, sir? When we have 4 sides and we try to make a closed figure, simple. So how will I do it? I can make like this. I can make like this as well. So basically this is a square, right? This is a parallelogram. This is a trapezium, and this is a rhombus. I'll talk about it one by one. Just be familiar with the shape. Square, parallelogram, trapezium, and rhombus. Clear? So all these are quadrilateral. So a quadrilateral is a closed figure made by joining 4 lines. Simple. Now this line should be straight. Now it cannot have a curve like this. We cannot say it a quadrilateral. Why? Because it has a curve. right? So the line should be straight only, and it should make a closed figure. So both conditions should be necessary. First one is a closed figure, and second one is it should be straight line, not curve. So it has 4 sides, 4 angles, and 4 vertices. Obviously 4 sides we have, 4 vertices. Obviously we have 4 vertices. And third one is 4 angles. So if you will join the 4 sides, so obviously we will make 4 angles here, right? Next one is it must be closed shape with straight sides only. A shape with a curve or that is not closed, it's not a quadrilateral. This is what I told. It should be straight only. Like here, this side is not a straight line. This is a curve basically. So this is not a quadrilateral. Understood? In simple language, if I'll explain you what is quadrilateral. So a quadrilateral is a closed figure. It should be closed with 4 sides, and the sides should be straight. Clear? Okay, this is what all about quadrilateral. Now there can be many types of quadrilateral. We will explore to that one by one. Okay. Now the next concept is about the concept of congruence. What is the meaning of congruence, sir? When we say that the 2 shapes are congruent or the 2 figures are congruent. So suppose I have 2 pages in my hand, right? These are the 2 pages. So are the 2 pages congruent? Yes or no? So what I'll do, I'll overlap these 2 pages. Is it visible? Everybody please see. I'll overlap these 2 pages. I'm just trying to make it overlap. So if you will observe, these 2 pages have same shape, same size, same shape, same size, and they overlap to each other. Means these 2 are congruent to each other. So a figure that have same shapes, same size are congruent to each other. This is what the definition of congruent. Clear? It means they match exactly when placed one over the other. Means basically it is talking about the overlapping, right? If they will overlap, so overlapping is only possible when they will have same shape, obviously, and same size. Otherwise it will not overlap, right? Clear? Now congruence is written using this symbol. So suppose we have this circle. So when these 2 circles said to be congruent, when they will overlap to each other. And when they will overlap, when they will have same shape, obviously both should be circle. And second one, same size, means their radius should be equal, right? If radius should be equal, they have same shape, clear, and size as well. So 2 circles are said to be congruent when they will have same shape and same size. So congruence is clear to you. Now what is important for us or for your grade, like grade 8? What is important in congruence? Which shape? Basically it is for triangles. Now triangle is one of the most important polygons that you will ever come across. Okay. So we have to understand about the properties of congruence basically for triangles only. Clear? Any doubt? Then I'll move on to the congruence part of triangles. Okay. Now let's come to congruence of triangles. So if I'll draw, suppose we have 2 triangles here. right? Now we know that the congruence is denoted by this symbol, obviously. So when we say that these two triangles will be congruent to each other, when they have same shape and size, this is the normal definition, right? But will we always measure the same, always measure the size? No. There are some criteria through which you can determine that the two triangles are congruent or not. This one you have to remember, but this is very simple. We have 5 criteria basically: side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle, side, angle, and right hypotenuse side. One by one I'll discuss. The first one is side, side, side. So we have two triangles. Now side, side, side is clear by the name only. Side should be equal. Now side should be corresponding. It's not possible like when we have two triangles and we are seeing, if I'll name this as ABC and this one as PQR. So the side AC is the corresponding side of side PR, right? Not AC and PQ are corresponding sides. So if these two sides are equal, these two sides are equal, and these three sides are equal, AC, BC and AB. So if AC equals to PR, BC equals to QR and AB equals to PQ, then only we can say that all the sides are, corresponding sides are equal here. Then only we can say that by side, 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 triangle ABC congruent. Congruent, this is the notation for congruent. Clear? Congruent to triangle PQR. Triangle ABC congruent to triangle PQR. So this is one of the criteria, side, side, side. Second one is side, angle, side. So observe the figure. These sides are equal. This angle is equal. Now angle should be in between only. It's not possible like these two sides are equal and these angles are equal. Then we cannot apply this criteria. Angles should be in between the two sides. So this is what side, angle, side criteria says. Third one is angle, side, angle. Between the two angles there should be one side. Okay, like here this is the two angles we have. Now corresponding angles are equal here and corresponding sides are equal. Now side is in between here. So angle, side, angle criteria. Fourth one is angle, angle, side criteria. Angle, angle, side criteria. What it says? Corresponding angle should be equal. Obviously corresponding angle should be equal and one side should be equal. Then we can apply this criteria. Last one is only for the right angle triangle. What it says? Right hypotenuse side, or you can say right hypotenuse leg. S for side, L for leg. Okay. So when two right angle triangles said to be congruent, so when we have one right angle will always be there in a right angle triangle. Hypotenuse should be equal for both triangle and corresponding sides should be equal. Clear? Right hypotenuse side. Then only I can apply the RHS criteria. Clear? So these 5 conditions are clear to you for congruence of triangles. Yes or no? Clear? Shall I move to the next topic now? Thank you. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and right hypotenuse side. Clear to? Just remember that this angle should be in between. This is the key point here, and this side should be in between. This is a key point for this slide only. So remember this congruence for triangle. Now I'll move on to the one of the important tool, that is CPCT. CPCT says that corresponding parts of congruent triangle. Now, why I said this is important? Because this will help to prove the triangles to be congruent or not. So when I'll show that the two triangles are congruent by some criteria, we have to use any one of the criteria, then only we can explain that the two, or we can say that the two triangles are congruent. Now, after that, what you have to do, when the criteria are satisfied, you will say that the triangle like this, triangle ABC, are congruent to triangle PQR. Like here, if I'll draw one triangle ABC and a triangle PQR. Right? So if these two triangles are congruent, if it is congruent, means congruent condition we already have. So by CPCT criteria, what I told you, the definition of congruent means they will have same shape and same size, means same shape when it is possible and same size when their sides are equal, right? So by CPCT criteria, it says that corresponding part of congruent triangle means corresponding angles are equal, means here the angle C and angle R are equal. Angle A and angle P are equal. Angle B and angle Q are equal. This is the corresponding angle. So corresponding angles are equal first of all. Second is corresponding sides are also equal. These are the three sides. They will also be equal. So this is clear to you. So after applying one of the conditions from one criteria for congruent of triangles, by CPCT criteria you can say that the corresponding angles are equal and the corresponding sides are equal. So this is clear to you. So we use this form by CPCT to justify in proofs. That's why I told you this is one of the important criteria to tell that or to prove any congruence of triangles. Okay. Now let's solve one problem, that is the carpenter's problem. That is basically where the grade 8 chapter number 4 quadrilateral starts, the carpenter's problem. So a carpenter wants to make a strong rectangular frame using two thin wooden strips. Okay, if the strips are joined diagonally, corner to opposite corner, okay, the frame becomes strong, stable and forms a perfect rectangle. Means it is forming a rectangle. So firstly what I'll do, I'll draw a rectangle. Clear? Let's go what question is saying. C already has one strip of length 8 centimeter. She wants to know the length of the second strip, where should they join and what angle should they form. Three questions it is asking. Length of the second strip, where should they join and what angle should they form. Once again go through with the question. Carpenter wants to make a strong rectangular frame. So rectangle we have formed using two thin wooden strips. If the strips are joined diagonally, yes, the strips are joined diagonally here. So I'll join a diagonal here. This is basically, she has two strips, one strip of length 8 centimeter. So this is 8 centimeter, right? 8 centimeter. Now, what should be the length of the second strip? This is what question is asking, right? Now, why we are joining the diagonals here? So you have seen on your doors, if you will not join the diagonals, what will happen? Your door will crack, right? So this is the application for this problem, that if you want to find the length of the second strip, what you will do? You should know the properties of rectangle. What is the properties of rectangle? Tell me. Properties of rectangle, do you know? Properties of rectangle. In rectangle, the diagonals are equal. Yes or no? Diagonals are equal. So if diagonals are equal, and if this measures, let's say, let's name this as A, B, C and D, and this point as O. Okay, the intersection point is O. Clear? So diagonals are equal. So A's BD we have given as 8 centimeter. So BD equals to AC will be 8 centimeter only, right? So the first question is clear to you. 8 centimeter, right? So this is what the first question was. You have to find the length of the second strip, and both the strips are joined diagonally to each other. Where should they join? They should join at the midpoint. So second one is the point O is the midpoint. They should join at the midpoint. What is the third property? Why this is the midpoint? Because the diagonals we know, right? Diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other. Yes or no? Diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other. So O is the midpoint. So they will join at point O and it is the midpoint. But important thing here is they will not intersect at 90 degree, right? Everyone knows. I hope so. What angle should they form? See here, what angle should they form? So if it is talking about the central angle here, like at what angles the diagonals are intersecting, this will not be necessarily 90 degree, right? Not necessarily 90 degree. Okay? Because this is not a square, this is a rectangle. Clear to you? So I think this question will be clear to you. So by this we will see the properties of a rectangle. So firstly what I'll do, I'll draw a rectangle. Okay, this is a rectangle. In rectangle, all four angles are 90 degree, obviously. All four angles will be 90 degree. Opposite sides are equal here. Opposite sides are equal here. And parallel, obviously it is parallel. And diagonals are equal in length and they bisect each other into two equal parts. They bisect each other into two equal parts means when they will intersect each other, when diagonals will intersect, they bisect each other. Means they are equal. If they are joining at some points O, the diagonals will always bisect each other when they will intersect. Clear to you? So this is the properties of a rectangle you have to remember. I think everyone remembered all these properties. This is very simple. ठीक है? After rectangle, what is the next? Obviously, it's a square, right? So square is a special type of rectangle. I think everyone knows. Yes or no? Square is a special type of rectangle. Why? Because it satisfies the properties of a rectangle. How? So it is a quadrilateral. Obviously, it has four sides. All angles are 90 degree. Yes, sir. All angles are 90 degree here. So till here it is clear. All angles are 90 degree. Next is opposite sides are equal. Obviously, opposite sides are equal for a rectangle. So this is satisfying the properties of rectangle, but there are some extra conditions here. There is some strict condition here that all four sides are equal. Obviously, it is a rectangle, but there are some strict condition. It became a special family of quadrilateral that is called a square. Okay. So there it is a difference between a rectangle and square. So every square is a rectangle. It is correct. I am writing one statement. Every square is a rectangle. True or false? Tell me. True or false? Every square is a rectangle. Obviously, it is true because it is satisfying the properties of rectangle. But if I'll ask you, every rectangle is a square. Every rectangle is a square. Obviously not, because opposite sides are equal only in rectangle, opposite sides. But in squares, all sides are equal. That's why this is not a square, but it is a rectangle. Okay? So squares will come under the family of rectangle. This is the Venn diagram that you need to know. Rectangle is a bigger family, square is a smaller family because it has some strict conditions, right? So in Venn diagram, it is look something like this. So that square is a part of a big rectangle. Clear? So two quadrilaterals we are finished, rectangle and a square. Now let's move on to parallelogram. This is also one of the important quadrilaterals, right? So parallelograms, what happens? What are the properties? Okay, so before parallelogram, let's see the properties of squares also, because we have seen about the square, but its properties, I think everyone knows. All four sides are equal, all four angles are 90 degree. Obviously, in square all four sides are equal. Yes, all four angles are 90 degree. Obviously, these are 90 degrees. Opposite sides are parallel, diagonals are equal in length. These all are the properties of rectangle, right? All these are coming from the properties of rectangle. This one, but this is extra properties, and this one also. All four sides are equal here, and the diagonal bisect each other at 90 degree, right? But in rectangle, the diagonal was not bisecting at 90 degree. Last one is diagonal divide the square into four equal triangles. So suppose we have a square here, and if I'll make a diagonal, so we have four triangles. Now these four triangles, 1, 2, 3, 4. These four triangles are equal triangles. Equal triangles, how will you prove it? This is, I'm giving you as homework, please do it. These four triangles will be equal. So do you know some criteria to prove the triangles to be equal? Remembered? Yes, the CPCT criteria, right? Or the congruence. You have to prove triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2, triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 3, and triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 4. Then all the triangles will be equal. Please do it. Use one of the criteria for congruence. Okay? Now let's move on to the parallelogram. So parallelogram is basically a special type of quadrilateral, right, in which both pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal. Now here both pairs are parallel and equal. Like here, this is a parallelogram when both pairs of opposite sides. First of all, the opposite sides should be equal and it should be parallel. Then it is a parallelogram. So parallelogram is of two types, that is a rectangle, or it could be a rhombus. Now square satisfies some properties of rectangle and some properties of square, rhombus as well. Okay, then it becomes a square. So simply we have a parallelogram, and under that we have two categories, that is rectangle and a rhombus. And square is just a special type of quadrilateral or special type of rectangle, that it satisfies some properties of rectangle and some properties of rhombus as well. Clear? Okay, shall I move to the next question now? Next concept basically. Now let's talk about the properties of a parallelogram. So the first property says that the opposite sides are equal. Yes, opposite sides are equal in parallelogram. So if this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D, so AB equals to CD. Yes, AB equals to CD, and AD equals to BC. AD equals to BC. This was the first property. Second is opposite sides are parallel. Obviously AB here is parallel to CD and AD is parallel to BC. So second property is also clear. Third one is adjacent angles add to 180 degree. What is the adjacent angle here? So if this is angle DAB, angle ABC, so if you add these two angles, these are adjacent angles obviously. So if you add the two angles, angle A and angle B, it will be 180 degree, means supplement. Supplement means, you understand, the sum, if the sum of two angles are 180 degree, it is called a supplementary angles. So this is one of the properties, that adjacent angles are supplementary in parallelogram. Next is the opposite angles are equal here. Like here, angle A will be equals to angle C, angle B equals to angle D in parallelogram. Next is diagonals bisect each other, means OA equals to OC. OA, what is OA here? Basically it's talking about the diagonals, right? So this point is O. So OA equals to OC, means it will bisect. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. And OD equals to OB. So these are the four properties that you have to remember. So this was all about the parallelogram. So under parallelogram we have many categories like rectangle, square, rhombus, and all of them will satisfy this property. Okay. Now let's learn about the rhombus. This is also a parallelogram. Rhombus. So a rhombus is a quadrilateral. It's a parallelogram, but parallelogram is also a quadrilateral, right? So quadrilateral is the biggest family. Then we have parallelogram, and rhombus is a part of parallelogram. So a rhombus is a quadrilateral in which all four sides are equal in length. All four sides are equal in length. ऐसे ऐसे तो सर हमने कुछ पढ़ा था. All four sides are equal in length. That is basically in square you did study, right? But this is different from square. How? Here we have all four sides are equal. That is fine. But in square you remembered, right, that all angles are equals to 90 degree. Angle should also be 90 degree here. No. The angles here are not 90 degree. That is where it differs from square. So if all four sides are equal, it could be square or it could be rhombus. But if the angle between the sides, basically the angle between the sides equals to 90 degree, it will be a square. So there is some additional condition in square, right? Here there is no condition on angles, but in square there are some conditions. That's why I told you a square satisfies some properties of rectangle. What are the properties of rectangle square satisfies? Tell me. Opposite sides are equal here, obviously. Now from rhombus, all sides are equal here. And in rectangle, it is also satisfying that all angles equals to 90 degree. So two properties from rectangle, one property is from rhombus, right? So that makes a square. So this follows a strict condition. It is following a strict condition square. Okay. Thank you. So square is following a strict condition. It is taking some properties of rectangle and some properties of a rhombus. So rhombus is clear to you, I hope so. Now let's see some properties of rhombus. So till now we know that all four sides of a rhombus are equal. But there are also some extra properties that it satisfies. What are these? Obviously, since it is a parallelogram, it will satisfy the properties of parallelogram. So all four sides are equal in length. Yes, all four sides are equal. Opposite sides are parallel. That is what I told. Parallelogram properties. Opposite sides are parallel. No need to explain now. Opposite angles are equal. Here the opposite angles will be equal. Properties of parallelogram. Diagonals bisect each other. Once again, it is a property. Diagonals intersect each other at 90 degree. This is important, that the diagonals intersect each other at 90 degree here. That is basically talking about if this is a diagonal, the angle between them equals to 90 degree. Like in squares. So what is the difference between square and a rhombus? Only difference is the angle between them is 90 degree in square. So basically this is a square and it is also intersecting at 90 degree only. But the only difference is the angle between the sides here is 90 degree. This is the only difference between square and a rhombus. Last property is diagonal bisect the opposite angles. Obviously, these diagonals bisect these angles. These two angles will be equal. These two angles will be equal here. So this was all about the properties of a rhombus. I hope this is clear to you. I tried to keep it very simple. So this was all about rhombus. Now let's move on to some more quadrilaterals like kite and trapezium. Now this is a special family of quadrilateral. Kite and trapezium different from what? Parallelogram. That is kite. The first one is kite. Two pairs of opposite sides are equal here. So first of all, what is the shape of kite? Right? So the kite will something look like this. So now all of you will say, sir, it's something like a rhombus. Right? But in rhombus, if you will remember, in rhombus, all sides were equal. But here only the opposite sides are equal. Sorry, the adjacent sides are equal. The adjacent sides are equal here. Right? So if you want to form a kite, make pairs of adjacent sides equal. Second thing you have to do is one pair of angle is equal and the diagonals intersect at 90 degree. Means the diagonals between them should be 90 degree, obviously, and one diagonal bisect the other. This is what all about kite is. That's it. Two pairs of adjacent sides means adjacent sides are equal here, not the opposite sides. Clear? Second is one pair of opposite angle is equal and diagonals intersect at 90 degree. Diagonals intersect each other at 90 degree, obviously, and one diagonal bisect the other. Obviously the diagonals can means if they will intersect, they will be bisected to each other, right? So this is all about the kite. Next one is about trapezium. Trapezium. So in trapezium, one pair of opposite side is parallel. See here, this is a shape of trapezium. Here one side is parallel. So this is a parallel, not equal. Okay, let me denote this in this form. Okay, these are parallel but not equal. So opposite sides are parallel here, not both sides, one pair. One pair of opposite sides is parallel. Second is the adjacent angles on the same leg are supplementary. Supplementary, I have told you, if the sum of two angles equals to 180 degree, it is supplementary. So adjacent angles on the same leg means it's talking about this. If you add these two angles, let's say this is angle 1 and angle 2. So angle 1 plus angle 2 should be 180 degree. And the third one is diagonal are generally not equal. Obviously, if you join the end points, and you will see that these two diagonals like A, B, C, D, if I'll name them, then AC should not be equals to BD. This is what trapezium says. So you have to remember all the properties. This is very simple. If you will do more problems, then everything will be remembered to you. Clear till here? So this was all about the quadrilaterals and its properties. I have made a family tree of quadrilaterals. See how you can remember it. Very simple. Firstly, we started with a quadrilateral, right? Then we have different qualifications of quadrilateral, like trapezium was different one, where only one pair of opposite sides were equal. Only one pair. In kite, what was the different? Adjacent sides are equal here. So that's why it fallen into the other category of quadrilateral. Third one is parallelogram. In parallelogram, opposite sides are obviously parallel, but opposite sides are equal. That's why it fall into the third category, parallelogram. Now in parallelogram, we have different kinds of quadrilateral as well, like rectangle and a rhombus. Sir, in rectangle, opposite sides are obviously all these three will satisfy the properties of parallelogram. So when you will remember the properties of rectangle, rhombus and squares, always remember that it will satisfy the properties of parallelogram. Simple. Then what you can do, you can remember the additional properties, like in rectangle, all angles are 90 degree between sides. In rhombus, this is not the condition. This is the difference. Now, what is the difference between a rectangle and a square here? So, some properties of rectangle square satisfies, some properties of rhombus square satisfies. So, that's why I have written here as rectangle intersection rhombus. So, a rectangle and square, the difference is all sides are equal here in square. So, sir, can I call it as rhombus? No, there are some other properties as well. In rhombus, all angles are not 90 degree, but in square it is. So basically, square satisfies the most strict conditions. Most strict conditions. That's why every square is not a rectangle or every square is not a rhombus. Sorry, that's why every square is a rectangle, right? Every square is a rectangle. True or false? Once again, okay, two questions I am giving to you. Every square is a rectangle and every square is a rhombus. True or false? First one and second one. First one we have covered, I think, right? Second one, Every square is a rhombus. Think about this. And what are the differences? Please think about it. First one is true. Second one, think about it. Okay. Now let's do some practice question based on it. Okay. Two equilateral triangles of side 4 cm are joined along a common side. Name the quadrilateral formed and find all its angles. Basically, it's talking about we have two equilateral triangles. We have two triangles, right? When we have two triangles, and if I'll join it along a common side, it will form a quadrilateral. See how? Basically, ABD is a triangle, BCD is a triangle, right? So, and BD is a common side. So, one triangle we have ABD and another we had DBC. And what I did, I joined ABD with BDC. So, I formed this quadrilateral. Basically, this quadrilateral I have formed. Now it is telling two equilateral triangles of side 4 cm. So this was equilateral triangle 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So if you will see, AD here is 4, means this is also 4 cm. AB is 4, AB is 4. BC is, can you tell me BC? BC is again 4. In second triangle you can see BC is 4. What about CD? CD is again 4. So name the quadrilateral formed and find all its angles. Can you tell me the quadrilateral here? What kind of quadrilateral it is forming? So in equilateral triangle, if you will see, what are the measurement of angles? Obviously it is 60 degrees. So this angle is 60 degrees. This angle will also be 60 degrees. So remember something, opposite angles are equal here, right? So 60, 60. Now what about this one? This is 60, this one will also be 60. So 60 plus 60, 120 degree, means this angle measurement is 120 degree. In the same way, this angle measurement will be 120 degrees. So opposite angles are equal and all sides are equal here. So what kind of quadrilateral it is? Opposite angles are equal. That is basically a parallelogram, right? And angles are 60, 60 degree, 120 degree, 60 degree and 120 degree. Basically we have four angles, 60, 120, 60 and 120. I think this question is clear to you all. Okay, so this was question number 1. Shall I move to the question number 2 now? Okay, let's do question number 2, and it's saying that construct a kite whose diagonals are of length 6 cm and 8 cm. It's talking about the diagonals whose lengths are 6 cm and 8 cm, but it's talking about a special type of quadrilateral. See, a kite. So how will you do it? Diagonals are 8 cm. So first what I'll say, draw a straight line. Let's draw a diagonal first. Draw a straight line that measures 8 cm. Let's say this is a 8 cm and I'll name this as A and C. Okay, this is 8 cm. Clear? Now make a midpoint of AC. So what will be the midpoint of AC? Name them as O. So AO will be 4 cm. Obviously AO will be 4 cm and OC will also be 4 cm. Okay, fine. Now at O, what I am doing now, I am constructing a kite. Okay, I'll draw a perpendicular on O. Okay, and I'll measure the length 6 centimeter on this. So suppose OB is 3 centimeter. This is B and this is C. OB and OC we have taken, so let's take it as D. So OB equals to 3 centimeter and OD equals to 3 centimeter. This is also a diagonal. If you will join B and D, this is also a diagonal. Now at the end, what you have to do? You have to make 4 sides, right? So basically join AB, BC and CD and AD. AB, BC, CD and AD. Now this ABCD is a kite. ABCD is a kite now. So you remember the properties of kite? Opposite sides are equal. So here AD will be equals to AB, BC will be equals to CD. Please verify it. Verify this. Everybody, please do it. Okay, this was all about the question number 2. I hope this is clear to you, very simple. The question was asking about constructing a kite. So firstly, what I'll do, I'll take a diagonal 8 centimeter. Basically, it's talking about a diagonal taking as 6 centimeter and 8 centimeter. So I'll take a diagonal as 8 centimeter. I'll find its midpoint, that is 4 centimeter. You know how to find the midpoint, right? You can measure or you can do the bisector theorem also, right? You can apply the bisector theorem here to find its midpoint. Okay, in this way, if you will join the all four sides you will form a kite. Clear? Let's come to the question number 3 now. Basically, in rectangle PQRS, the diagonals meet at O forming an angle 110 degree. Find. Very simple question. I think everyone can do this. We have a rectangle PQRS. The diagonal meet at O forming an angle of 110 degrees. The diagonals meeting at O forming an angle of 110 degrees. This is 110. I told you in rectangle, the diagonals will bisect, but it will not intersect each other at 90 degree. In square it is. Okay, not in rectangle. That's why it is 110 degrees. Find all other angles formed at O. So basically all other angles you can find it using many criteria is there, many definitions are there. Like linear pair you can use here. Linear pairs. What it says? It says that the sum of all angles that lie on a straight line equals to 180 degrees. So PR is a straight line, right? So OQ angle POQ plus angle QOR should be 180 degree bilinear pair. Therefore, angle QOR equals to angle POQ is 110 degree. So 180 minus 110, that is 70 degree. This is how you have to solve. Okay, so this is clear to you. All angles we have found here at O. One is 180 and second one is 70. Now what will be the other two? Obviously it will be vertically opposite angle. So other two will be equal. This is 110. So this will also be 110 and this is 70. Okay, so this was all about the question number 3. Now I'll solve last question for today, and this is the I think easiest one, not easiest one, but it is easy. See how the diagonals of a rhombus are 10 centimeter and 24 centimeter. Find the length of each side. We have a rhombus. Okay. Now the diagonals are 10 centimeter and 24 centimeter. So this is 10 and this is 24. This is 10 and this is 24. The diagonal sides I am talking about, right? Like A, B, C, D if I'll choose. So here, and if it is intersecting at the point O, so AC equals to 10 centimeter, okay. BD equals to 24 centimeter. Now you remember the properties of rhombus. Diagonal bisects, right? So OB equals to 12, OA will be equals to 5. Because diagonal bisect, these two sides are equal and if whole BD is 24 centimeter, then this OB will be half of 24, that is 12, and this will be OA will be half of 10, so this will be 5, right? Now one more properties I'll apply here, that diagonals of rhombus intersect at 90 degree. So this is basically 90 degree here. So now you remember the Pythagoras theorem here. So in triangle AOB, apply the Pythagoras theorem. So AB is a hypotenuse here. So AB square, or you can write directly as AB equals to square root of OA square plus OB square. Can I write like this? OA square plus OB square. Obviously you can, sir. Next is, what is OA square? OA square means 5 square. OB is 12. You can see from here, OB is 12, OA is 5. So 5 square is 25, 12 square is 144. That is 169, and square root of 169 is 13 centimeter. So this AB is 13. So if AB is 13, all sides are equal in rhombus. So AB equals to BC equals to CD equals to AD equals to 13 centimeter. Okay. So this was for today. So if you want more such interactive sessions like this, please visit to the SISYA class courses. See here, there are many kinds of interactive courses we are running. Right now there is booster course is there, maths champ course, SISYA topper program is there. Simply what you have to do, visit to the sisyaclass.com/LTC, and there you have to tap on your grades, write down your mobile number and your state name, and watch 3 demo lectures at just ₹19. So see here, what you have to do, tap any classes, okay, pop-up will appear, simply then there you have to fill your mobile number, okay, and your state name, okay. So if you like this session, please subscribe to the SISYA class channel, share with your friends, okay. Have a good day to all. Please be there in next session with me. I'll cover the next session. I'll cover in one shot about the chapter number 5. Okay. Thank you. That's it for today. Have a good day, everyone.